Hello and welcome to yet another edition of the Phil Taylor Jones Show. I'm your host, Phil Taylor Jones, and as always, we invite you to come along on this political journey as we delve further into the race for president for 2016. Today's focus is going to be on Slithery Clinton by request from one of our viewers. With all of the stuff that's going on about Trump, I mean, the man can't fart unless somebody is there to smell it and tell it. Everything he does is under such scrutiny. And yet, Slithery, on the other end of the ticket for the Democrats, can do anything and basically has, and nobody, bats an eyelash. In fact, they have rallied closer in behind her to get her to be president. And that's what boggles my mind. I just don't understand the mentality of people in this country today. It used to be a time when somebody did something of an unspeakable nature, people would distance themselves from them and look at them as some kind of horrible, person. Say, well, you want to stay away from that one. But it seems that illegality, wrongdoing, wrong in general, is the new right in this country. The wronger you are, the righter you are with the people. And that seems to be Slithery's, power. The thing that's been at the forefront is all these emails and this classified information. And, they've been going back and forth with that. And treating her gingerly, when you think of it. But this is just the tip of a very large iceberg. Her problems go way back, way back. Did a little research, my brother and I, and Chris is the producer of the show, and pardon the glasses here, but I've gotten to that age where I'm tromboning a little, so I have to put the specs on. Let me just give you a little something here that was taken from the National Review. It says, well, the Obama-appointed prosecutor gave Obama's former CIA director a sweetheart plea deal when he was caught mishandling classified information. Now says there's no case against Obama's former Secretary of State for mishandling classified information. How very persuasive. Oh, and did I mention that the bastard appointed prosecutor is a donor to the Slithery Clinton presidential campaign? You see, folks, this is what I've been saying all along. The political pool anywhere, but especially Washington, D.C., is so corrupt. That's why we can't get anything done. Everybody's playing footsie with everybody else under the table, whether it be right here on domestic soil or if it's over there on foreign soil. So we never really get anything accomplished. And that's American politics these days. I think my brother wants to come in here with something.
Her thing about it is she has absolutely nothing to do with that case. That's just her opinion. She's not, in charge of it at all.
Right.
It's just her opinion.
And that's a good segue into something that I researched myself about her basically being a bitch on wheels. Here we go. During the 92 campaign for presidency, Bill Clinton was fond of promising America, you'll get two for the price of one, indicating that his wife, Slithery, would act as his co-president, and that she did. After the Clintons moved into the presidential mansion, the political scandals multiplied, from use of IRS and FBI to target political opponents, to stalking and harassing of subjects of Bill Clinton's sexual advances, and even attempts to loot taxpayer-funded items from the White House. Americans also witnessed capers such as Travelgate, Chinagate, Filegate, and Pardongate. Now that's just some of the many things that this woman has been involved in. Now, we're just going to go over, because I mean, there's so many of them to mention here. I can't get into the meat and potatoes of all of them because this show would turn into maybe a 3-hour show. But I'm going to give you just, a little tiny tidbit of what she's been, conjuring up there in Washington, and why anybody would want to, consider this crook, this sleazebag as a leader, especially after 8 years of old bastard. It just boggles the mind, folks. The first, Clinton turns the IRS into a Gestapo. Federal agencies have more feared and loathed, have been rather more feared and loathed by Americans than the IRS, Internal Revenue Service. And during their term in office, IRS audits were conducted against individuals and groups who caused problems for the Clintons. So here you have them using governmental agencies for their own selfish purposes. Number two, covering
Protective too.
Yeah. Number two, covering Bill's dirty deeds. The Clintons have been accused of hiring private investigators not only to dig up dirt on perceived adversaries, such as Juanita Broderick, the woman allegedly raped by Bill, and often accused other women such as Jennifer Flowers, Kathleen Wiley, and Paula Jones, but to stalk and scare and threaten them. Number three, looting the White House. Now we know that the White House is not only the presidential residence, but this is a landmark. This is the property of the United States, and everything that was there when you got there as president should remain, because it's part of Americana. It's part of the natural history of this country. So if you brought in some little stuff, then that's what you take out at the end of your term. When the Clintons left 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in 2001, they reportedly vandalized and looted the White House. Slithery tried to ship furniture to the Clintons' personal home in New York. The Clintons came under fire when they reportedly tried to take $190,000 in gifts and furnishings from the presidential mansion. And people still rally behind this woman? It boggles the mind. Number four, Filegate. FBI files on GOP enemies. Number five, Hillary's Muslim Brotherhood princess. And let me go further on this one. Huma Abedin, I guess I'm pronouncing her name right, who served as Hillary's longtime deputy chief of staff, has worked with her for nearly 20 years, has known ties to the Muslim Brotherhood, a group bent on destroying Western civilization from within and other Islamic supremacists. This is who you want for president? Number six, Vince Foster's 1993 death. I remember this one. This one was really nasty. Vince Foster was deputy White House counsel and Hillary's friend and law partner who had connections to the Travelgate and the Whitewater scandals. In '93, Foster was found dead in a park with a fatal gunshot wound to his mouth. His suicide was the subject of much speculation and 3 official investigations. Number 7, email gate. She should go to prison for this. Not my words, but the words of this article, and definitely has my sentiment. I'm not going to go into that because that's been at the forefront of the news lately. Chinagate, sale of high-tech secrets. Kind of speaks for itself. Number 8, Travelgate, always room for friends. including Bill's 25-year-old cousin, who was reportedly promised the position of office director. They take care of their friends, their relatives. Number 10, Whitewater. Jail for friends, but not the Clintons. The Whitewater investigation by independent counsel Kenneth Starr began in 1994 with accusations of impropriety against the Clintons and others concerning improper campaign contributions, political and financial favors, tax benefits, and other things. A lot of people connected with this went to prison. Slithery and Bill, they went on to become president and first lady. Landing under sniper fire in Bosnia. In her March 17, 2008 foreign policy speech on Iraq, then Senator Slithery Clinton recalled a trip she made to Tuzla, Bosnia in '96. She lied about a lot of the events that went on there. Big surprise. Number 12, Hillary's missing law firm billing records. Missing or carefully misplaced. Number 13, Pardongate. Hillary Senate contributions. Before Bill Clinton left the White House in 2001, he granted numerous controversial pardons, including to convicted tax evader Mark Rich, whose wife made significant contributions to Hillary's 2000 Senate campaign and the Clinton Presidential Library. So if you throw money at them, you can get all kinds of favors. Does that sound familiar about that group in Washington? And again, this is who they want for president. Hillary's cash cow and 9,987% profit. Number 15, the Clinton body count. You find dead people. The Clinton body count, first published and later circulated by Linda Tripp to Monica Lewinsky, is a collection of names of people associated with Clinton administration scandals who have died mysterious and often violent deaths. Reporter David Brosnahan broke the story of the list during the summer of '97 while researching his book, Cover Up, The Art and Science of Political Deception. Number 16, Hillary's radical pal, Saul Alinsky. Remember that guy? What a sleazeball. I mean, come on. 17, Hillary laughs about defending a child rapist. Yeah, back when she was, just starting out in '75, she defended 41-year-old Thomas Alfred Taylor, oh God, don't using my name in vain. Taylor, who had been accused of raping a 12-year-old child, and she laughs about defending him. I mean, come on, what a sleazebag. Number 18, Hill cashes in on Iranian funding. Now, the same people that she, voted for and helped broker the deal with this farce Iranian nuclear thing. Hillary received funds from an arm of the Iranian government and hired a convicted Iranian-American multimillionaire with ties to Tehran as her national campaign finance director in 2008. The Bill, Hillary, and Chelsea Clinton Foundation accepted $30,000 between April of 2005 and March of 2006, and another contribution of between $25,000 and $50,000 in 2008. So, I mean, they're talking about they want this woman for president, but she's snuzzling and rubbing elbows and accepting money from terrorist harboring nations and doing all this under the cover, covert, creepy stuff. Come on. 19. Now this foundation that was funded by these Iranians, it's just loaded with scandals. I'll just give you a little bit of something here. It says the Clintons appear to have siphoned off tens of millions of dollars annually from the funds of their own foundation and received from the United Nations sponsored program that uses levies on airline tickets to help AIDS and HIV victims in the third world. They're just siphoning off money and using all kinds of perks to their own advantage, and they're supposed to be having this foundation to help the people. They're helping themselves, and she's at the forefront of this. Number 20, and this one perhaps is the most profound and prolific, and nothing has been done about it, and I know the families of these 4 innocent people that were slaughtered over in Benghazi are just livid. 4 American lives lost. On September 11, 2012, while Hillary was Secretary of State, Islamic militants attacked a U.S. special mission in Benghazi, Libya, and murdered U.S. Ambassador J. Christopher Stevens and U.S. Foreign Service Information Manager Sean Smith and 2 CIA contractors, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. They were also killed in this, and she gets away with it. It's barely mentioned anymore in Washington. And this is who they want for president. After all this scandal, 21, Peter Franklin Hall, another Hillary friend, goes to prison. So if you do all this crazy crooked stuff that she wants you to do and you save her butt, yours ends up in prison. Is that somebody you want for president? Somebody who throws any of her supposed friends and supporters, what have you, under the bus? 22 in the final one, Watergate. She was fired for being a liar. Big surprise there. She was an unethical, dishonest lawyer. She conspired to violate the Constitution, the rules of the House, the rules of the committee, and the rules of confidentiality. Now that's just 22 of the major ones. We haven't even touched on some of the other stuff. Again, why people gravitate to those who are known crooks is beyond me. I mean, if you go to a car lot and you see a potential car you want to buy, and you go over to look at that car and you begin to see the faults in it, like 4 flat tires, an engine that is half there, the interior of the car looks like the grumpy cat's been living there, would you still buy that car? Now, unless you were a person who wants to restore cars, then yeah, you probably might go in and buy it because you know, I see this as a fixer-upper, and I can make this car, I can bring it back to the pristine quality that it once was. But I'm talking about a consumer or a buyer that's looking for a daily driver, you know, something to drive back and forth to work. Maybe it's a mom, she wants to be a baseball mom and shuttle the kids back and forth to baseball practice. You know, this is a daily driver. Would you buy a car with half an engine, 4 flat tires, no transmission, and an interior that looks like Hurricane Beulah hit it? No, because you already have been forewarned. You see it with your own eyes. You wouldn't want to gravitate to a piece of garbage. Folks, we're talking about a person that's going to take the helm for the next at least 4 years. And think of this, they'll be taking it on the heels of 8 years of Obastard. You best better believe that this fellow is going to be scrutinizing everything from every potential candidate that I'm interested in. Nothing goes unnoticed, not by this guy. If you do something right, I'll praise you to high heaven. But if you do something wrong, you're going to hear from me too. Nobody gets a free ride from me. I don't care what color you are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what it is. Nobody gets a free ride. Oh, bastard didn't get a free ride from me just because he appeared to be black. Nobody gets a free ride. Before you invest, investigate. That's what our grandmother always taught us. Your time, your effort, your money. You investigate before you invest. You look at it for what it's worth. We're frozen out of the loop enough as it is. You just basically go to the ballot box, you cast your ballot. You know, that's basically it. I mean, if we had more of a hands-on, then, you know, maybe we would be better off than we are. But systematically, you get these crooked lawyers who happen to be good liars, because to be a good lawyer, you got to be an excellent liar. It sort of goes hand in hand. You get this, and I was just talking with one of my friends on Google. Why do they have to have so many lawyers in there? We got enough laws that aren't adhered to. Why don't you get somebody in there that knows what the hell they're doing and is not there to be this lawyer or continuous liar? We need an economist in there who can create jobs and put our country back where it needs to be, to rebuild our infrastructure and make sure that we're tight. Foreign policy this, foreign policy that. In my opinion, screw foreign policy, because where has it gotten us? I alluded to that on a previous show. It hasn't gotten us very far. We need to focus on domestic policy. I was just thinking of something last night. On the heels of Bastard bringing all of these potential terrorists and creeps into this country, we have been battling a homeless problem, oh my God, since I would say about 1977, 76, somewhere in there. Because what brought that to mind is, I don't know why I got to thinking about Lucille Ball, but I was thinking about Lucy, and I was thinking about the movies that she had done. You know, she's iconic for I Love Lucy, and the Lucy Show, and Here's Lucy. But the woman also put forth some good movies. And one of the movies that she made, last movies before she died, was Stone Pillow. And it was about this bag lady and what she had to go through in her day-to-day life and her day-to-day operations. And she gave a stellar performance in that. It was one of the last films she made before she died. So I was just thinking, this long existing problem of homelessness of our general population of citizens and our military, our veterans are out there homeless. They fought for this country. They put their lives on the line. They went to the army, a whole woman, a whole man, and came back with missing parts. They've come back, and they have to go through this mental condition, PTSD, I believe it is. And then when they step up to the Veterans Administration, some of them are told they don't qualify. Some of them have gotten their legs shot up, and they need medical attention. They're in pain, and it's not being done. Our veterans, our heroes, are not being cared for, and yet they bring people over here that don't even belong here, that could potentially cause us more harm than good. And you look at those reports that are coming in from the UK, from Germany, and from France. It's not pretty, folks. So as we continue our quest for our next president, do the homework. Do not fall for fancy, cutesy speeches. Do not fall for the rhetoric and the crap that you've been fed for the past 20, 30, 40, 50 years. It's time to scrutinize each and everything these people say and make sure that it is truth, that it is positive, that it is good. And when you see somebody that you know is bad, why would you gravitate to that? Unless you really like being screwed over. Slithery Clinton, The worst something that could ever be president. The worst. The woman has proven time and time again that she can't be trusted. She lies. She outlies cross ties. And for you railroaders out there, you know what cross ties are. Those are planks that lay flat on the ground that the tracks are connected to. She outlies those. Why would you want something like that for president? No good. No good. Too much scandal going in. I wouldn't do that. So once again, I say to scrutinize and don't take anything at face value. I think
Concerning the veterans.
my director, producer has come up with more information here.
Concerning the veterans and Donald Trump's actual support of them compared to
Okay, here's what
we were just talking about.
Here's what Trump had to say. Trump is establishing a hotline and email address for veterans to share their stories on how the Veterans Administration should be reformed. He pledges that if elected president, he will take care of veterans' complaints very quickly and efficiently, like a world-class businessman can do, but a politician has no clue how to do. And I believe that. You see, a lot of times people want to, aspire to the presidency or what have you because they want to make money or they want prestige or, whatever their personal agenda is. Well, this Trump fellow, he doesn't need any more money. The guy's got more money than he could possibly spend over 4 lifetimes. So I don't think he's trying to aspire to the presidency for money. He's already got it. Prestige, that either. He's already got prestige and power. His candidacy, his name, is the most recognizable between any of them that is running, whether it be a Democrat or a Republican. The Trump name is all over the place. So, he's not out for fame. He's famous. I think he really wants to get in there and help this country. And he's not a career politician, which is a good thing, because where's that gotten us? He's not a person that can be told what to do, because again, where's that got us? You look at these Koch brothers and all these other power brokers and lobbyists that, put all this money into their candidate, and when they put all that money into their candidate, they expect something in return. No such thing as a free lunch. They're not doing it because, I want to see this person as president. No, they want to see that person as president so they can control him. So they can't control Trump. He says whatever he pleases. He's very outspoken. I like him for that because I'm very outspoken. So I can understand where he's coming from. But please, do your homework, people. It is crucial. Look at what O'Bastard has done. He has all but destroyed this country. It's hanging on by a thread. And he's sitting there with the scissors. We are in danger, and we shall be in danger until that bastard is gone. So please, we do not, and I reiterate, do not want to make another mistake. So do the homework and make sure that to the extent possible you pick the best person. Our lives and our land depend on it. We thank you for spending this time with us on the Phil Taylor Jones Show. And as I said before, Google is where we are. And if you want to know more about the show, circle us, befriend us on there, whatever it is we have to do. And just like the viewer that recommended we do a show on old slithery Clinton, if you have some suggestions, we would welcome them. And once again, in this crazy, mixed up, nutty world, we want you to stay happy, we want you to stay safe, and take care. We'll see you next time on the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Bye-bye.